Okay, I'm gonna just get straight into the video. My name's Selena. I'm a 25-year-old mom. Let's get it. So, first thing is I stopped putting money before happiness. So, for many years, I worked at jobs I was unhappy at. One, for the pay, two, for the title. Because I am a young mom, I just felt like if I at least had a good paying job with a good title, I would be accepted by society, I guess. And yeah, you just really gotta not care about what people think about you. You really gotta not care about titles. You really gotta not care about money. Put your happiness before money. And it's funny because I've always heard that saying since I was a little girl. And I remember being a little girl and thinking like I would never put money before my happiness. But there I was at 22 years old doing exactly that. So yeah, that's one of the things I stopped doing to just start building up my happiness again and start having a passion for life again. So quit any jobs if there was any red flags. If I felt I wasn't getting appreciated for the work I was doing, just any red flags, quit, move on to the next, or start working on that business. If it is a business that you're wanting to start working towards it. Let's see. I also put beware of your fantasies. So how many times have you guys like gotten back with your ex or slept with your ex or just got back with them because you fantasized about the potential they could have and how the relationship could turn out to be this? That has to stop. Your fantasies can really get you into a really dark place. I did that for so long, you guys, in a toxic relationship. I definitely started looking not just at the people I'm dating for what they are, but just everyone around me for what they are, what the reality of things, are. Let's see. Be stingy with your time. So I know this one's going to be hard for my people pleasers out there, but be stingy with your time. Say no when you have other things planned and need to get other things done. Even if it's working towards a business that you don't already have, you're never going to get there if you keep allowing people to steal that time for you. So be stingy with your time. Stop listening to sad music or, I don't know, just like ratchet music, because there are so many studies, and I'm not going to go into detail on this because you could literally look it up yourself, but what you're listening to, what you watch is going to affect your emotions. So just be aware of that. Like even with my 5-year-old daughter, even if I'm playing a slow song, like one time I literally caught her, I was playing a slow song and I turned around to tell her something and I noticed her eyes were watery and I said, "Baby, are you crying?" And she said, "Yeah, it's because this song sounds sad." She can't even really grasp what the song was saying, and it wasn't even a sad song. It was just a slow playing song, but because it was slow, it just made her feel like she had to be sad, So when you are deep in the trenches in your depression, try listening to more happier music that's going to motivate you to get up and just get things done and just go after the mindset that you want to have. Let's see. When you're feeling overwhelmed by life, stop and think, what is it I need to get done today, and focus on that before going and just stressing about the future. So I know me, like I tend to stress a lot about the future, and like right now, you guys, I'm working on becoming a lash tech. So I literally lashed my first client and I'm already thinking about when I'm ready to take in more, and it was my mom. So right now I'm going to do my mom and my sisters, but I caught myself thinking the other day, like when I do start taking in clients, like there's no room in the house, where am I going to lash them? And I had to tell myself, like, Selena, you need to just focus on, first of all, getting good at doing eyelashes before you start stressing yourself out, and you're so busy stressing yourself out about the future where you're gonna lash them that you're not even practicing doing your eyelashes. Focus on getting good at them first, and then later you could think about where you're gonna lash these clients. But stressing when you should be practicing or working towards what it is you want to have does you no good. So even if you have to write it out, guys, like I wrote it out before, that as long as I get playtime with my kitten done, Bible study done, a workout in, as long as I do that, I'm good if I do nothing else the rest of the days. I make sure I have my priorities in line and those get done no matter what type of mood I'm in. Because say you don't get that stuff done and you're already depressed, knowing in the back of your mind that you also didn't get that stuff done is just going to cause even more depression. I hope you get what I'm saying. Let's see. Stop smoking weed. Now, I know this one's gonna have a lot of people like, and I used to say before, like, I'll never stop smoking weed. And when I would say this, it was during the time when I was super just in my head, stressed out, working a job I didn't like. And let me tell you why I stopped smoking weed, because this is how my days would go. I would work as a patient service representative that had a bunch of patients coming in and out. It was a walk-in clinic, so you can only imagine how busy we were. Come home, literally the patients would treat us so awful, you guys. Like, I can't believe I even allowed myself to stay at that job that long. But every failure is a lesson, and I needed to learn those lessons that I learned while working there. But I would come home stressed out, hating my job. And you spend more time at your job than you do at home when you're working a 9 to 5. Bring that energy home to my baby. I feel like the only way I could have peace is to smoke weed, play with my baby, basically get ready for the next day, eat dinner, get ready for the next day. It made me way too comfortable where I was at. Yes, it did take away stress for a temporary moment, but anytime I got stressed out, I was smoking, taking that stress away. And then instead of thinking about like, okay, how are you gonna get out of this situation then if you hate it so much? I wasn't doing that. Instead, I was smoking weed, listening to music, just lollygagging, like doing nothing that was gonna get me out of that situation. So that's why I put stop smoking weed, and those are the reasons why I needed to stop smoking weed. Let's see, what else do I have? I'm looking down at my tablet, guys. So whatever you're doing, give it your all. So how could I say this? I think that's pretty straightforward. Like, whatever you have your mind to, whether it's working a job, creating a business, whatever it is, give it your all. Don't half but things. I don't want to use the ASS word, but don't do things lazily. Don't be lazy. Don't, like, if you see a wrapper from a candy on the floor, don't just pass it up and say I'll grab it later. Pick it up right there and then, because how you do anything is how you do everything. If you're slipping up in that area of your life of picking up a small wrapper that's going to take you 1 second, imagine all the other places where you're slipping up at. So don't get yourself in a habit of slipping up even over the smallest things. Another thing is, and I know this one's obviously like really, like, why would you even put that in there? But I put actually, let's save this one for the end. So another one that has helped me is I no longer take advice from people I wouldn't want to switch lives with. I trust my gut instinct even when it comes to the smallest things. I stopped allowing toxic people to have my time and energy, even for the smallest red flags. So I'm basically just going to go through these. I'm not going to give you guys an explanation for every single one because they're self-explanatory. Like, obviously you shouldn't be allowing toxic people to take your time and energy, but we do it. Just remember your worth. That's what it comes down to when it comes to dealing with toxic people. Remember your worth, remember your value. You know deep down what type of person you are. You know you're a good person. And even if you have done wrong and you are a bad person, that doesn't mean you can't change now and decide from now on, I'm going to be a good person. I'm not going to be a toxic person. So don't allow toxic people around you. You are who you hang around. So I'm so sorry. The enemy does not want you guys to hear this, because never does our gardener show up on a Wednesday. He normally shows up on a Friday. So that's very bizarre that he's here right now. But I'm going to keep going because this is just information that needs to get out. Okay. Keep a clean room and a clean car. So I feel like when your space is clean, you have a clean, clear mind. When your space is cluttered and messy, your mind will be cluttered and messy. Start that business already and stop being afraid of failure. Every failure comes with lessons you need to learn to get yourself that dream life you want. The longer you put it off, the longer the success takes to come. I have been thinking about starting something for about 3 years, and the only regret that I have is that I didn't start when I had first got the idea, because if I did, I would have already been where I want to be at right now, but instead I'm just starting out. So whatever your soul is telling you you should be doing, listen to it, no matter how crazy it sounds or different it sounds from everyone else's lifestyle. And then the last thing is to praise God and just trust that everything will work out in your favor. And there's a freaking bee circling around me. But yeah, you guys.